Good afternoon, all. Camelback Trading 2724 coming to you this Friday afternoon, May 8th. We're looking at the market profile of the SPY ETF here on Window Trader, and a bang-up finish to the week by the bulls as they closed at the weekly high, hold the gap when it looked like for sure it was going to fill this morning. Higher value, getting close to last month's high, which would be an inside month up if they're able to get it. Once again, as you can see, two bad ticks down at yesterday's settlement, which totally distorts the charts. In fact, I forgot to fix the daily chart, so it's going to look distorted. The low in the day is 289.86, not what they're showing, which was 287.68, I believe, something like that. So this chart will look a little distorted. The one big negative, the volume, the lowest on the week, 65 million so far. So you're lucky to do 70 million today. On a day we're up almost 1.7%. Again, it's only one part of the equation, and the volume was poor on the downside also this week when the sellers tried to push. I mean, the volume was horrible both ways. But the higher we go, you would certainly like to see volume pick up and bring in newer buyers and not just have these algorithms ticking up. It was a pretty good day in the trading room today. A couple of us absolutely nailed them for waiting for the pullback, being short in F, G, and H, and then on the flip side, got in on the afternoon pullback low. Those are the two best trades of the day by far. A period, I did take a long. We went back now. Look. The first four time frames were exactly the same as yesterday. We went through the opening, all four time frames, before the market found a direction. Same thing today, four time frames before it found a direction. Actually came back through the opening twice before it rocketed to finish where it did at the end of the day. So at one point in a period, took a long, took it back up to the opening, got out. I did nothing when it drove down, and it looked for sure. We held the gap by 8 cents. So I thought for sure what I was looking for was the gap to fill, get into yesterday's range, taper off, stay above value, and then come back. If it did that, I was looking to take a nice long play. It never did, so I never got long there. And that's fine. Took another long in B period, again, back and forth through the opening, got above the opening, took it, popped A's high. That was a nice trade. I did the opposite in C, got below the open, took a short, and went down, took out B's low. That was a good one. Did another small one in D for the same thing. E period. And these are all, quick trades. They're not huge, but they add up tremendously. And by the way, we'll just keep making new highs in N period as the market goes higher. E period again, pulled back. Looked like it was definitely going to take out the day's high. Got long and had a trade on that. Now, after I got out of that long, I started a short position. I started it in F, continued it in G, continued it in H, it was just, actually, I'm trying to think if I did do it in F and G. H is where, I think I did have no, it wasn't. I apologize. I did nothing in F and G. I'm looking now on my sheet. Again, by the end of the day, my mind is scrambled sometimes. So I didn't start that trade, I don't think, until H period. I don't believe. No, it was H. We kept making new highs. We had single prints at one point early in the day. That got filled. We were getting no distance. We took out B's high, and this is how I explained it to people in the room, what I was doing, what I was doing. B's high was 291.53. We got as high as 292.05. So, right? It took 2.5 hours to go 52 cents to the upside. So in H period, I started shorting it, and I continued adding, and at H's high, I got short just under 200 contracts. And I was comfortable because I said the longer the buyers aren't getting extension, anybody above B, if this thing stops one time framing down, is going to flush out. What happened? We started rolling over, took out G's low, and then we flushed. It was a beautiful trade. Now, that was the innovator. Did I tell everybody in my room to do that trade? Absolutely not. I could feel the tempo, lack of tempo, lack of any kind of acceleration. I was comfortable with it. Ultimately, I was looking for a long play, just like I did all day yesterday, looking for an afternoon pullback low that never came, although I still did okay. Today worked out perfectly. So, yes, and there was a bunch of people in the room that took that short at G's break and still had a very nice trade. I was fortunate enough to play innovator on this one, took a huge position up here, wrote it down, was a beautiful trade. Then in I period, I started my long. Small again, right below H's low, again at the opening. And I told people now, at the time, I got right down to value low, and that's when I added even more. Got long about 50, I believe, or 60. I forgot what it was. And I was comfortable. Was it in my mind that we could have a replay of yesterday? Possibly. But again, with the indices so strong, with value higher, with the gap still holding, I thought, you know what? I don't think 2 days in a row they're going to do this to me. And they didn't. And we took it up in I, J, and wrote it right back up to POC and out. Beautiful trades. And then I took another long in K at one point, and that was really it. Actually went home long 15 puts. The 295 puts that expire next Friday. Just took a 15 share lot. And I'll tell you why I did it when I show you the charts and and what I'm looking for. So, destinations for next week. Well, first one on the upside is M's high of 290, 295, and that is now a weekly high. So that's an important number. Then after that, we have the very, very important number, 294.88, which is last month's high and also a poor high, also the top of a 21-day balance, and also would be coming out of an inside month to the upside. That's a pretty important number. If we get above that, 295.07, 9 wide from March 6th, and then 298.78 daily high, and then filling the gap at 300.01, 123-point gap from March 6th. For the downside, well, this is 3 days for the SPY and 4 out of 5 for the ES that we go out with a price probe. This one's to the upside. L's high, 292.14. Now, we did make a new high in L. We took out H's high, so I am going to use that as the price spike, but they're fairly close, 292.05. So if the price probe gets rejected, I'm going to say the price spike is also going to get rejected on Monday. So we'll see. Then below that, we have 291.49, 9 wide, which we got. We didn't get it yesterday. We got it today. Today's afternoon pullback low, 290.76, which we didn't get yesterday. Beautiful. It was just beautiful textbook, the way this market traded against short-term algos today. Then below that, 289.86. Today's low, and then filling the gap at 289.78. 8-point gap. And then 287.13. Yesterday's low and a poor low. And why was it textbook? Because after battling 4 times to get direction, they got direction to the upside. But I think the risk-reward was more to the buyers in E, F, G, and H's high than it was to the sellers. And that's why I was very comfortable with that short. Got exactly what I expected when the week longs got out. Got exactly what I expected when I got long down here for the afternoon pullback low to have them just grind all the way back up. Okay, let's go to the charts. Monthly, one time framing down, inside month above the trend line, but this is the big number, 294.88, right? Do we get it? Do we get above it? Do we get accepted, right? You come out of an inside month, that's the longest time frame, that's the most powerful. You go with that trade, and more importantly, monitor it for continuation or lack of. Now, that's a monthly chart, so we're not going to know for a month when we finally come out of it if it was the right trade or not, right? If it's, I shouldn't say the right trade, I should say if it's continuing or not. Weekly. After taking out last week's low, after a horrible finish from last week, the bulls take back just about the whole week. Very, very impressive. So we're in balance. Want to call it a 2-week balance? That's fine. Last week's high and this week's low. More importantly, we closed above that 288.52 level, which puts us above these three highs, right? These 2 weeks and that week. Very impressive. Also puts us above the 287 level. So right now, it's all systems go for the bulls. The ball is in their court. Now we'll see what they can do with it. Daily. Again, came out of a 3-day balance, and here's the bad tick. See, that should not be there. The low of the day is, in fact, if you want, I could show you how I change it because it'll certainly look better. So today's low is 289.86. So I just have to go here, fix the data. And this is the torture of having to do this constantly, which we've had to do. So, anyway, that's the real low. Okay? 289.86. The gap held. We came out of a 3-day balance to the upside. But still, I'm encompassing this entire thing, so it's like 21 days. Here's the big one, 294.88. Again, there's nothing really stopping the bulls from getting to it except themselves. And if we get that, you sure as heck is going to go test that gap and the 300 level and the 200-day moving average. Should the market be here? Who cares? It's not ours to wonder why the market is as opposed to what the economy might be doing. Trade what's in front of us. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. We had a really good week in the room. It's a fun place to be. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and I'll speak to you prior to the opening on Monday.